So you want to own an EV battery recycling business? At first glance, it looks like one of the smartest industrial opportunities of the next decade. Millions of electric vehicles are already on the road, and inside every battery is a collection of valuable materials that could become some of the most important resources in the future economy. The idea seems almost too simple. Collect old batteries, recover lithium, nickel, cobalt, and other valuable materials, and sell them back to the companies building the next generation of electric vehicles. A business that turns yesterday's technology into tomorrow's resources. But here is the part that changed everything. A company can raise hundreds of millions of dollars, build a massive recycling facility, install advanced equipment, and still lose money every single day. Why? Because the biggest challenge in battery recycling is not finding value inside the battery. The biggest challenge is building a business that can actually capture that value. Imagine an investor sitting in a meeting looking at a proposed recycling plant. The numbers look exciting. The demand for EVs is growing. Battery materials are becoming more important. The opportunity looks enormous. But the investor has one question. After spending hundreds of millions building this factory, where are the batteries going to come from? Because an empty recycling plant is one of the most expensive mistakes a company can make. The machines still need maintenance. Employees still need salaries. Electricity bills still arrive. The factory can burn through millions of dollars while waiting for enough batteries to process. And this is the contradiction at the center of the EV battery recycling industry. The batteries are valuable. The demand is real. The opportunity is huge. But turning that opportunity into a profitable business is much harder than many people expected. Today, we are breaking down how EV battery recycling companies actually make money, why some businesses could become major players in the next energy economy, and why others could spend enormous amounts of money chasing an opportunity that never becomes profitable. The reason investors are paying attention starts with a simple problem. The world needs more battery materials. Every electric vehicle produced requires large amounts of lithium, nickel, cobalt, and other minerals. As automakers produce millions of new EVs, they need a reliable supply of these materials to keep factories running. Traditionally, the answer has been mining, but mining has a major limitation. Finding new resources underground takes years. Building a mine requires billions of dollars. Companies must deal with government approvals, environmental concerns, and uncertainty about whether the project will actually deliver the expected results. Meanwhile, the demand for batteries keeps growing. This created a completely different idea. What if the next major source of battery materials is not discovered underground? What if it is already sitting inside millions of batteries that have already been produced? That is the opportunity companies like Redwood Materials and others are chasing. The idea is to create a circular supply chain where old batteries become the raw materials for new batteries. But this is where many investors discover the first major problem. The supply of old batteries is not as easy to control as people think. A recycling company cannot simply order batteries whenever it needs more inventory. It has to find them. Some batteries come from electric vehicles that have reached the end of their first life. Some come from accident-damaged vehicles. Some come from warranty replacements. Others come from commercial fleets replacing older battery systems. The challenge is that these batteries are spread across thousands of locations. One could be sitting at a dealership. Another could be inside an insurance company's network. Another could be waiting at a repair facility hundreds of miles away. For a recycling company, the The first battle is not processing batteries. The first battle is collecting them. This is why the future winners may not be the companies with the most advanced recycling machines. They may be the companies that control the supply. Because if one company has the best technology but no batteries, and another company has average technology with millions of batteries available, the second company may win. And that changes the entire business strategy. Battery recycling is not just a recycling business. It is a supply chain competition. Companies need partnerships with automakers, dealerships, insurance companies, fleet operators, and battery manufacturers. The companies building these relationships today are trying to create an advantage that competitors will struggle to copy later. But solving the supply problem creates another challenge. How do you turn those batteries into profit? This is where the business model becomes unusual. In many industries, companies pay suppliers to get raw materials. Battery recycling does not always work that way. Sometimes recyclers may pay to acquire old batteries because they know valuable materials are trapped inside. Other times, companies may receive payment because businesses need a safe way to handle batteries they no longer want. But the real opportunity comes after the battery arrives at the facility. The company is not selling an old battery. It is trying to unlock the value inside it. And that is where the engineering battle begins. Every battery is like a complicated puzzle. Inside are thousands of individual cells, electronics, protective materials, and chemical components. The challenge is not simply breaking the battery apart. The challenge is recovering enough valuable material while spending less money than that material is worth. Because every dollar matters. Transportation costs money. Safety systems cost money. Workers cost money. Equipment costs money. The companies that survive will be the ones that make the math work. This is why recycling technology matters. Not because companies want the most complicated machines, but because they need better economics. A small improvement in recovery efficiency can create millions of dollars in additional value when a company processes thousands of batteries. One important stage of this process creates a concentrated material known as black mass. Massachusetts black mass contains valuable elements recovered from processed battery cells. But creating black mass is not the final victory. It is only the beginning. The real question is whether companies can extract enough valuable materials from that material at a cost that makes business sense. Because recovering materials is only useful if the economics work. A company can recycle thousands of batteries and still lose money if the process costs too much. And this is where companies begin separating into winners and losers. Some will find cheaper ways to process batteries. Some will recover more valuable materials. Some will build better supply networks. Others will spend millions building impressive factories that never reach profitable scale. Because scale is another major challenge. Battery recycling is not a small workshop business. A commercial facility requires expensive equipment, specialized workers, safety systems, environmental controls, and industrial infrastructure. A single large-scale plant can require tens or hundreds of millions of dollars in investment before reaching full operations. This creates a dangerous race. Companies need huge factories before they have enough batteries, but they need enough batteries before those factories become profitable. It is a business where timing can decide everything. Build too early, and you may carry enormous costs with limited supply. Build too late, and competitors may already control the market. This is why investors are not only looking at technology, they are looking at execution. Can this company secure batteries? Can it reduce processing costs? Can it survive when conditions become difficult? Because even after solving supply and technology, another challenge remains: the market itself. Battery materials are commodities. Their prices change constantly. A recycling plant can look like a genius investment when lithium prices are high, but the same plant can suddenly become much harder to operate when those those prices fall. Companies cannot control the market. They can only control how efficiently they operate inside it. This is why strong companies are building more than recycling facilities. They are building entire ecosystems, collection networks, transportation systems, manufacturing partnerships, and customer relationships. Because the future of battery recycling may not belong to the company with the biggest factory. It may belong to the company that controls the entire journey of the battery, from the moment it leaves a vehicle to the moment its materials return into a new battery. Companies like Redwood Materials and Recycle are examples of businesses trying to build this future. Their progress shows an important lesson. The biggest challenge is not proving that batteries contain valuable materials. Everyone already knows they do. The real challenge is proving that those materials can be recovered consistently, efficiently, and profitably at a massive scale. Because this industry will likely create two very different outcomes. One group of companies will spend millions building factories but fail to secure enough supply. Another group will quietly build the partnerships and systems needed to control the future battery material network. The difference between those companies could be worth billions of dollars. Imagine a future where an electric vehicle battery does not simply become waste after its first life. Instead, it enters a new cycle. Its materials are recovered, they are processed, and they return into the production of future batteries. A world where yesterday's batteries become tomorrow's resources. That is the opportunity attracting billions of dollars into this industry. But is owning an EV battery recycling business a smart opportunity for everyone? Probably not. This is not a business where someone can buy equipment, open a factory, and start making money overnight. The investment is enormous. The technology is difficult. The competition is increasing. And one wrong decision can cost millions. But for companies that solve the hardest problems, securing battery supply, improving recovery efficiency, controlling costs, and building powerful partnerships, the opportunity could become one of the most important industrial businesses of the future. Because the future of battery recycling will not belong to the companies that simply collect old batteries. It will belong to the companies that understand the economics behind them. The companies that can transform millions of used batteries into a reliable source of critical materials may become some of the most important players in the next generation of energy infrastructure. The question is not whether old batteries will become valuable. The question is who will control that value. Because the next great resource industry may not be created by digging deeper into the earth. It may be created by unlocking the value already sitting inside the batteries powering the world around us.